Hi, and you're welcome to our Senior Options Information presentation for third year and transition year students, their parents and their guardians. There are three information presentations. The first gives an overview of our transition year programme. This is a very strong and popular programme in our school, and we've seen very clear evidence of its positive impact on our Leaving Cert students over many years. To sign up for transition year, you simply tick yes on the electronic form using the transition year link attached. You must also complete a separate form and return it to Mr. Conlon. Our second presentation outlines the subject options available for students entering fifth year. These subject options can be completed using the Edval Choice portal. Parents and guardians will receive a link by email to complete these options. Our final presentation gives information on the subject requirements for subject entry to college. This information is also available on a link in a Word document. Please note the dates for returning forms for transition year and fifth year. I hope you enjoyed these presentations. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact your subject teachers or indeed the school office, and we'll be delighted to assist you in any way we can. Bye for now.
Hi there. You're very welcome to this presentation on transition year for Ballinrobe Community School. I am Mr. Conlon, and both myself and Miss Mullen are going to take you through transition year and what's involved in it for those students who wish to take part. Aside from that, you're also going to hear testimonials from students, both past and present, on their experience in transition year. So bear with us for the next couple of minutes and we'll take you through transition year and what's involved. Thank you very much. Transition year is a one-year school-based programme based between junior cycle and senior cycle. It is designed to act as a bridge between the two by facilitating the smooth transition from the more dependent learning of the junior cycle to the more independent and self-directed learning required for the senior cycle. It was introduced in schools in 1973. By 1993, that number had jumped to 163. It was mainstreamed in 1994. 2001, 507 schools were offering transition year, and that current figure stands at around 550 schools. It's approximately 90% of all post-primary schools at the moment are offering transition year. They're doing that for a reason. Number one, you get to choose a range of subjects. We have a variety of optional subjects available. The students can either change what they've done up to junior cert or else keep going what they've done and maybe expand on their basic knowledge of it. It is an extra year before going to college, so therefore it gives students an extra year to mature, to grow, to find out themselves who they are and what they can do. 2 weeks work placement that generally takes place in the springtime of the year, which again offers students a chance to go out into the workplace and see what they would like to work at, or maybe sometimes some students get quite disappointed, but at least they know before they head on to their Leaving Cert years of what exactly is involved in work placement and the career that they'd like to do. On average, students who do transition year get up towards 30 points extra in the year than those students who haven't done transition year. That's in the Leaving Cert itself. So that 30 points is hard to come by in Leaving Cert. They're not exactly handed out. So it is very valuable in that regard as well. It's a need for skill-based learning and prepares students better for college life and also for the years when they do start working, when it's more group-led initiatives, teamwork, working with colleagues, integration into workplace rather than working in an isolated environment. The age profile of Irish students who do transition year are a year older, probably heading towards 19 years of age, which is a huge difference from students who are barely 18 doing their Leaving Cert. The maturity, the level of experience, self-knowledge, preparation for the life ahead after secondary school when they're away from home does stand to them hugely after the Leaving Cert. A year to mature, and also in the current climate with challenges facing young people, peer pressure, social media influencing on influences from peers, transition year definitely gives students a chance to get them to stand on their own 2 feet. The challenges facing young people, the Leaving Cert in itself is a huge challenge. We hear enough of it on the news every single year, the pressure, the mounting points, everything else for the courses, and that puts a huge amount of pressure on students. But by doing transition year, students generally make a better informed subject choice. It deals with the multiple intelligences that will come along in a second. Study skills, how to apply yourself to times, independent self-directed learning, your assessment, self-assessment, CAO choices, course requirements. It's endless. The third level, Those students who don't do transition year are a year younger. There's a high dropout rate amongst them. They have made maybe choices that would not have been as well informed as those students who've done transition year. They're a year less mature. Leaving home, you're better prepared to deal with life after school. You're better able for your self-management, for time management, study skills, working as part of groups, which is huge in college and huge in industry at the moment, a huge part of working life. Adult and working life, self-awareness, self-esteem, assertiveness, relationships in the workplace, teamwork, maturity, your careers, getting prepared for interviews, you're getting your CV ready, portfolios, technical skills, health education. Again, the list goes on and on about what's ahead of us for young people. Garner's multiple intelligences theory in transition year. Transition year deals with the bodily, kinesthetic, logical, mathematical, linguistic, visual or spatial, musical, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and naturalist intelligences. Transition year offers students opportunities to explore a range of different activities in all of these. The aims of transition year itself. First of all, it's an education for maturity with emphasis on social awareness and increased social competence. The level of maturity students gain over the course of transition year is phenomenal. To see students grow throughout the year, to see them being able to come into a class, give a speech, talk to other students, talk to staff on a better, more even basis, it's amazing to see how it does transform students. Those students who come in shy, quiet, maybe a little bit meek, by the end of the year are able to hold their own as good as anybody else. And very much they have transition year to thank for that. Education through experience of adult working life as a basis for personal development and maturity. Putting students out in the workplace for the 2 weeks. We try to encourage students to pick 2 different places for the 2 weeks so that they get a good all-round overview of different types of work rather than just being in the one place. And this in itself gives them greater information, a greater focus about what's ahead of them for college, for working life. Some students explore a career that they're almost certain is for them and it goes well. Other students explore their career for the same reason and realise that it's not what they thought it was at all. It also is promotion of general, technical and academic skills with emphasis on interdisciplinary and self-directed learning. The skill sets students pick up in transition year, there's no other place where they would pick them up, no other place where they would get the same level of exposure to try out their own skill set, to improve things that they're already good at and to pick up new skills, new abilities that they would never have had the opportunity to explore before. TY is school-based, it is all done in-house, it's student-focused, teachers give their individual expertise and it's used in various different places in different subjects. Individual syllabi are written, so we don't follow a set curriculum, no school does. Every school is unique to themselves depending on the skill set that they can offer with the staff that they have. Varied teaching and learning methodologies used, various levels of assessment, school-based certification at the end of the year, supported by the department, and also the inspectorate does monitor transition year as well as it would other courses given in school. There's 4 layers of the transition year programme. You have a calendar layer, transition specific layer, subject sampling layer, and a core subject layer. Calendar layer consists of those activities we have going on throughout the year that are at set times. Work experience placements generally takes place in the springtime of the year or early summer. Visiting speakers coming in at various different times throughout the year. We organise them depending on the needs of the students, what the students are looking for themselves. We very much encourage students to bring forward ideas that they would like us to organise for them. Myself and Ms Mullen are very facilitating in that regard. We take students on outdoor pursuits, be it to Petersburg, there's usually an end of the year bonding trip in Achill as well, and there's various other ones throughout the year, again if the students are wishing to engage in it. Excursions, going to different things, it could be to the cinema, museums, history trips, field trips for the likes of subjects like the likes of geography, community care. We have students involved in the nursing home programme. Again, Ms Mullen will take you through that in a few minutes. And the school musical, the success of that generally speaks for itself. It takes place in early December and has been a phenomenal success in the school over the last number of years since the school has opened. Transition specific layer. This includes subjects that are for transition year alone. The many companies is a subject every year the students are dying to get involved in, dying to make a little bit of money, and we'll see which one will make their first million. We have had various success over the last number of years. Students coming up with unique opportunities to make a few little euro for themselves, and some who make quite a few little euro for themselves. But again, it's pushing themselves out there. In transition year, you will definitely get out of the year what you put into it. The harder you work, the better you will be coming out of it. The less you do, the less exposure you get, therefore the less you're going to gain from the year. It is up to the individual student. Microsoft Dreamspace, where students get the opportunity to go up through Microsoft itself and explore what they have up there. Public access to law modules, where we have a mock courtroom and each student in the class has their own particular role. We've brought that in once or twice. It is important that there is a balance. So a balance, it's not all academic. There's sports modules, there's more practical modules. It all depends on what the students wish to do. Information studies, personal development, first aid, again with certificate. And the subject sampling layer. For those students who wish to take up a new subject, try out something that they haven't done up to Junior Cert. This gives them a great opportunity to try something new, try their hand at a new skill, explore what they can be good at, explore what they haven't had the opportunity to do so far. But again, students have to push themselves out there. And the core subject layer. Irish, English, Maths, European language. For those students who haven't done a European language up to Junior Cert, we offer Italian for these students. So they get an opportunity to try a new language. And sometimes we have students who've done a language and want to try another one. They opt to go for Italian as well. So we do have quite a little bit of exploration on that. Career guidance to get the steps going of what they would like to do, what they would like to explore in life after school, and PE. Now, Ms. Mullen will talk to you for the next few minutes, and I'll be back to you at the end. Thank you very much.
There are lots of different options for TY students to ensure they get full experience in terms of transition years. So for example, there is a mini company program that all classes get involved in, and they come up with their own ideas for businesses. There is a Build a Bank program, either with the AIB or the Bank of Ireland. And usually that's kind of one class group that focus on that. There's a public speaking program that some TYs like to get involved in, as well as the school musical. So that would be for all TY students, whether it is making the set or being on stage or being involved with the music or the programs. We really focus on getting involved with the wider community. So in Ballinrobe, that would be with the primary school next door. And usually we have a reading program there, where they would go down and read with a group of students once a week. There's also a sports program that we like to engage with the local students there. The nursing home is another feature in terms of the wider community program. So weekly, a group would usually go down to the nursing home and get to know some of the residents and then get involved in a project with them. So the last year we did that was a memory book project, which is lovely. The Tidy Towns is another area of the local community that we focus on. And this year we had groups of students so far who go down once or twice a week and clean up a certain area of the town. And there's also other local services that the students get involved in, be it TACU or the local hospice shop. Another point there in terms of student experience is the driving module, where they learn how to drive. And that usually takes 1 or 2 days out of the back of the school. There is a first aid program, which we like all students to do, and that usually involves the defibrillator program too. Self-defense, another part of the TY experience that students like to do. The Young Scientist program, so the BT Young Scientist, we had a group this year who did very well and who came up with a new app for the location of defibrillators around the Ballinrobe area. So a really worthwhile project. And the last one there is the mentoring program. So that's usually a weekly meeting with first year students and transition years. I just want to take a look down through some of the student activities that are available for transition years. Some have already been mentioned in the previous slide, but the first one there are the environmental workshops. So we usually run those in October, November, and it gives them an opportunity to look into climate change in more detail. The fundraising activities that TYs get involved in, some are mentioned there, the Irish Society for Autism fundraiser, the Jigsaw Mental Health Charity fundraiser, and Age Action. So there are lots of opportunities during the year for fundraising. The trip to Microsoft Dreamspace is also mentioned there. So that was 2 years ago, very popular day, fully funded by Microsoft, and just very interesting for anybody who's kind of technologically minded or interested in that kind of line of work. The ski trip to Italy, very popular with transition year students, so we hope that will go ahead again next year. The work experience module, so that is 2 separate work experiences. and students can choose where they want to do their work experience, but we always encourage them to maybe aim for somewhere with a career that they might actually like to go on to do. So whether it be primary school teaching or maybe in a hospital setting. The Inland Fisheries Workshop was another one from 2 years ago that was very popular, where a group of students actually had a weekly workshop where they made fly ties. Okay, so very tricky and delicate procedure, but they really enjoyed it. It also mentions the GA coaching course. All transition year students will be eligible to do that. The first aid and defibrillator training already mentioned, but again, very important. 2 years ago, we also did a sustainable fashion workshop, which was funded by UNESCO. The students really enjoyed. And there's usually a language trip for transition year students as well. So it was with the French teacher and students 2 years ago, and they found it very worthwhile in terms of language. The Young St. Vincent de Paul program is another one we really encourage TYs to get involved in. This year, the group so far did a huge fundraiser at Christmas, and they also got involved in making money boxes for St. Vincent de Paul, new money boxes. The Disability Awareness Workshop is also a very important one as part of the TY program. So we usually do that in September. We have various talks. For example, a creative writing talk is a popular one. The universities, so for example in UIG, provide taster days. So usually the arts faculty, business and engineering will organise for our students to spend a day there and get to sample all of the different things they will do at third level. There is also a trip to Petersburg to the Outdoor Pursuit Centre there, a team building exercise. The Road Safety Roadshow is usually in February in the Brafey Arena. The school got involved in the Asthma Youth Champions programme 2 years ago. So again, we hope to go back to that again next year. And it also mentions there towards the end the Goshka, so the President's Award. And this year we have over 30 transition year students who've signed up for Goshka. So they do some kind of a physical activity every week. They get involved in some kind of community program every week. And they also work on a hobby or a skill every week. Okay, so a very beneficial program. And the students will receive their bronze awards this May. In terms of assessment, TY is not like the previous 3 years for students, so they will not be going home at night with their homework to do for each subject. Assessment is integral to the learning process, but it is not separate from it. So we are looking at portfolios, oral and oral assessment in terms of languages, project work in most subject areas, self-assessment, peer assessment, some written or practical class tests, and skills assessment. So a focus really on self-directed learning throughout. So we have gone through most of the information about transition year so that you understand the nature of the year and what's involved and all of the different opportunities for your son or daughter within the year. And transition year is such a fantastic opportunity for so many students. However, it doesn't suit every student. The support though of parents and guardians is vital. It's so important for transition year to be a success for that student. And the harder the student works, the more they will get from the year.
At the end of this slide, you're going to hear testimonials from students, both past and present, who have engaged in transition year and who no doubt have got a huge amount out of it. Attendance is a huge part of transition year. You need to be in to become involved in activities and to get to know new people in the year. Working outside of your comfort zone is paramount, and putting yourself forward for tasks, testing yourself and being reliable and accountable for yourself at all times throughout the year. When you do decide to do transition year, you take on a lot on your own shoulders. Myself and Miss Mullen will put everything in place, we'll get all the ladders ready for you to climb and soar above the clouds. But if you're not in, there's not much we can do. Those students who excel for a reason. They're driven, they're focused, they want to get involved. And some students, even the most vulnerable or most nervous, once they put themselves into something, their confidence grows. That is what makes the best students in transition year. You will get out of the year what you put into it. The more you put in, the more you'll get out. And for those students who have put themselves into everything, they've been busy. They've been very busy throughout the year, but they have excelled, and you'll hear that from the students who are going to speak in a few minutes. So sit back, listen carefully, and you get it from a student's perspective what transition year is all about.
I would highly recommend every student to do TY. The school and the teachers provide lots of opportunities for the students throughout the year. The TY musical play was a very enjoyable week. I met lots of new friends and spoke to people I've never spoken to before throughout first, second and third year. I went skiing to Italy with all my friends, and I never would have had the opportunity to do so only for doing TY. It was one of the most enjoyable weeks of my life. The school provides lots of courses throughout the year. For example, I took part in a fish and tackle course, which was really enjoyable. TY for me was really good because I got the opportunity to explore what I would like to do after school. I did my work experience in Galway General Hospital in the haematology ward in the blood bank. I also did my work experience in my local primary school. By doing the work experience, I now know what I would like to do after school. I think everyone should do TY. You get to grow and develop yourself as a person. For me, I got to set up my own business and it's still running to this day. Whatever you do, throw yourself into everything in TY, and it will be the most enjoyable and beneficial year that you will have in secondary school.
I think students should definitely do TY. If you have a good attitude, there are so many opportunities, even with COVID. There's Gaishka, where you can do something as fun as baking once a week, or something as complicated as learning a new language, and at the end of the year, you'll get an award for it. My friends and I entered BT Young Scientists, where we coded and published our own website. We got a lot of publicity with BT and met many new people, including a woman from Team Technovation who reached out to us and helped us create our own app. I have many competitions coming up this year, including Mayo Enterprise in March, and for the rest of the year I have Team Technovation and SciFest.
A lot of people ask me why I did TY. Well, I think people should do TYs because there's a great way to develop relationships with other people in your year that you weren't really friendly with in first, second or third year. There's people I didn't talk to in junior cert and I'm now very good friends with them in leaving cert. There's also a lot of career opportunities that you'll be able to look into because there were people coming into school giving you talks on different varieties of different things. So it's great opportunities, but you got to be willing to put yourself forward and you got to be willing to put the hand up saying I'll do this job and that job, because that's the only way that TY will be made enjoyable, is that you put yourself forward. It's like a holiday. You can stay in the hotel room or you can go out and travel the world. That's the way TY is, a great way to explain it. You have to be able to do it yourself. The teachers will give you all the information and all the opportunities, but you got to put your hand up and say that I'm going to do it. And if you do that, you'll enjoy TY. I enjoyed it very much. I was involved in nearly everything. I was always outside the classroom helping different organisations, and that's why TY is just great.
TY. Like, I just think it is the most amazing experience ever, and I think you'll just be so glad you did it. And it's just the greatest opportunity ever. It was genuinely the best year of my life, and I have no regrets. Like, I did everything and I tried everything, and I think that's so important, just to try absolutely everything and just go in with an open mind. Even if you think you're not going to like it, or even if you think you're going to be bad at it, it's just so important to try absolutely everything, and I guarantee you, like, you'll come out being so happy you did it. And it gives you an opportunity to learn so much about yourself and about others, and genuinely, like, it's just brilliant. It's just do it, like, it's so good. Genuinely, like, I can't say much more. It's just brilliant.
I did TY because it gave me the year to take a break from homework and tests, and I wanted to experience all the things that you get to do in TY. I enjoyed the new subjects that we got to pick in TY. I picked metalwork, home ec and drama, which I enjoyed since they're all practical work. TY helped me with my confidence and gave me the year to grow up a bit going into fifth year. In TY we put ourselves out of our comfort zone, and sometimes that can be good for your mental health. A lot of people don't do TY because they want to get out of school quickly, but don't skip it because of that. And even though this year was cut short with coronavirus, we still get to do activities such as the play, which was good crack hanging out with everyone.
Hi everyone, my name is Lee and I'm currently in 5th year. Just a few months ago I got to participate in the TY programme, and for me it was a thoroughly enjoyable experience. I wouldn't be able to choose just one part of TY that was the most enjoyable, but definitely what stood out for me would have to be the TY ski trip and the musical. These were both amazing experiences. I found that TY offers so much to you. It allows you this chance to step away from books for the year, but yet you're constantly learning in a different way. I found there were so many opportunities for you to take so many trips and interesting seminars and talks that for you to get involved in, all while constantly having fun and getting to work with different people every day. I would definitely advise anyone embarking into the TUI year to go in with an open mind and to be up to face new challenges. In TUI, you definitely need to step up, take part, participate in as much as you can to get the most out of your TUI year. TUI is an absolutely brilliant experience. It is such crack, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity not to be missed.
I'm AJ Carpio. I'm a 5th year student and I did TUI last year. To be honest with you, I wasn't planning on doing TUI last year. I knew what subjects I wanted to take for the Leaving Cert, and I felt that TUI was going to be a waste of my time. However, I'm really grateful for the person that convinced me to do TUI at the last moment, because I felt that I really gained a lot from it and I really benefited from doing TUI. It made me grow as a person. I learned a lot more about myself, and I discovered that I had skills in unexpected areas. Throughout TUI, we had a variety of guest speakers talk to us about many topics, which were very informative. As you know, TUIs go on a lot of trips. I really enjoyed going on the different trips, and I felt that as a year group, we really bonded together and we became closer. There's also a lot of extracurricular activities in TUI, which I really enjoyed taking part in. Personally, for me, I think that the musical was one of the biggest highlights of TUI. I really enjoyed being involved with it, from building the sets to performing on stage. It was a fantastic experience. You might hear from people that TUI can be a dossier and you might not do anything and it's going to be a waste of time, but that doesn't have to be true. If you involve yourself in a lot of activities, TUI can definitely be one of your busiest years in school. In short, TUI is whatever you want it to be. You can do anything you'd like, and I'd highly recommend taking the initiative and researching for different programs and workshops you could do when you're in TUI.
How to join Transition Year. First of all, download the TUI application form from the school website. Please, when you fill out this application form, think carefully about your answers here. This will give you the basic understanding of why you are choosing to do an elective year in the school. It is not a mandatory year. You have the option of doing it. And also think about why you are doing it. What do you hope to get out of the year? Please give a lot of thought to that. When you have that completed, return to me, Mr. Conlon, via email at sconlon@ballinrobecs.ie. Possible limit on the numbers allowed in, depending on the amount of classes we can facilitate, and some students may be required to also sit an interview to obtain a place in transition year. Do be aware of that. Okay? Should you have any questions, by all means contact me by email, let me know, and I'll do what I can to put you at ease and to assist you in any way I can. Hopefully, once we get back into school, if students here have any questions, my door is always open in room 40, and by all means you can call up and ask either myself or Miss Mullen anything you wish about transition year. Best of luck. I look forward to seeing you all soon, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Bye now.